Hello 3-4S and welcome to our week 8 revision video. These videos give the opportunity to watch it as many times as you need to. You can stop, pause, rewind and watch it again and again. You can ask questions at school about the video, and we're always looking for practice makes perfect. So the more we do things, the better we will get at them. So we need to practice, practice, practice. And in these videos I've got some questions along the way which you can answer, and you can have the opportunity to earn some dojo points. So the first thing you need to do is to find a scrap bit of paper, because there are 6 questions in this video and you have the opportunity to earn 6 dojo points. So you might like to pause the video at the moment, go get a piece of paper and a pencil ready for our 6 questions. First, what we review in maths that we did is just quickly on our left and right. So we definitely know our left and right like that. If we put our hands in front of us like that, we can look at these shapes that our fingers make, fingers and thumbs. And they're almost like L's. If we were to make them a bit neater, they'd be like that. And we can say, well, which L looks the right way around? And we can see that this one does. So we know that this hand must be our left and this one must be our right. We look at the shapes that our fingers make. This one is the correct way around, so this is our left hand. Next one, and the opportunity for you to earn a point. We looked at position and using our left and right. So we know that we can say that Alicia is to the left of the diamond. We can see that the heart is below the diamond. We can see that the tick is below the circle. We can see that the square is to the right of the heart. We can see that Bree is to the right of the diamond. Now I want you to first follow, because this is what your question will be, some following directions. Let's start at the tick. And I'd like us to go up 1 space. It'd be to the circle. To the right 1 space. To the heart. To the left 1 space. Back to the circle. Up 1 space. That takes us to Alicia. To the right. Down 1. To the right. Down 1 more. Left twice. Once. Twice. Up once, to the right, and up once. And that would leave us at the diamond. So here's your first question. Let's start at the semicircle, and I'm going to give you some directions to follow. And if you can write down the correct answer, that earns you a dojo point. So we're starting at the semicircle, and I'd like you to go up once. To the right once, up once, to the left once, down once, to the left once, down once, and to the right twice. And whatever answer you get, write that down in answer number 1 on your scrap paper. And you write down the answer you got, and the correct answers get a dojo point. So that's question 1. You might need to stop, rewind it, and watch it again. But that's question 1. Commas. Commas are punctuation marks used to separate words or phrases to clarify meaning. So we can say that Elliot has short and brown and straight hair, but that doesn't really sound right. We might want to change something in that. So we can say Elliot has short, brown and straight hair. So what we do is we get rid of that end, and that's where we insert a comma. So we don't have to say Elliot has short and brown and straight hair, because that's becoming repetitive of the ands. So we can say Elliot has short, brown and straight hair. Bo ran and tripped and fell and fainted. Much too many ands there. We need to get some rid of them, and that's what the commas are for. So we can get rid of maybe these 2, and we say Bo ran, comma, tripped, comma, fell and fainted. Now remember the important thing, we always leave the last one. No matter what, the last and has to stay there. But we can get rid of these 2 and just put commas in. So that's too tiring, that's too much to say. Bo ran and tripped and fell and fainted. We can say Bo ran, tripped, fell and fainted. So here's your opportunity. Question 2 on your scrap piece of paper. She was young and beautiful and kind and smart and funny. If you can rewrite, I want you to write that sentence again, but adding in our commas in the right places. If you get that correct, that's another dojo point. That's question 2. So you're rewriting this sentence here, but you are adding in the commas and where they should go. She was young and beautiful and kind and smart and funny. You need to change some things around. That's question 2. Commas can be used in a sentence to separate a group of words, providing extra background information. If this information is taken out, the sentence will still make sense. So what we can do, that girl is my sister. That's a very simple sentence. What we're looking to do, we can open it up, put 2 commas and add some more information in the middle. So what might that be? What could go in that space there? That girl, something, 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 is my sister. That girl over there is my sister. I've put that girl with blonde hair is my sister. Adding that bit more information. Now it's a bit more complex sentence, and that's what we always want. Heath is very kind. Yep, Heath is a very kind boy, but what can we add to make it more complex? Some information. Can you think of anything? What could you add there? What have I done? Heath, a boy in class, is very kind. So we've made it a bit more complex there, and that's why we add the commas. Let's just separate it. Now here, question 3, third dojo point opportunity. Jessica likes to giggle. Well, yes, she does very much like to giggle, but how can we separate that? By adding commas and adding something in the middle somewhere. I want you to do that. That's question 3. If you can write another sentence making that with commas, that's another opportunity for a dojo point. Jessica likes to giggle. Next one. A comma can also be used after an introductory phase in a sentence. So here's an example. During the holidays, comma, the children went to SeaWorld. So it's telling you when they went to SeaWorld. Once again, it's just more information, making our sentences more complex, more detailed, and more descriptive. So, I went to the beach. Well, that's good, but when did I go to the beach? That's what we use commas for. So, what did I say? On the weekend. Could have said on Tuesday, on Wednesday, during the holidays, over Christmas, comma, I went to the beach. Next one. We learn lots of things. What could go in that space there? Where do you learn lots of things? What have I got? At school. Hopefully you learn lots of things at school. At school, we learn lots of things. So this is question 4 of your scrap paper. Mr. S played soccer, and I'd like you to put a comma in somewhere at the start and add some more information and make that more descriptive. That's your job. When did Mr. S play soccer? Where did Mr. S play soccer? It's all about making that sentence more complex. Mr. S played soccer, but how are you going to do that? How are you going to use an introductory phase like these 2 here, on the weekend at school, in this sentence here? So that's another opportunity. That's question 4. Persuasion exposition. How is an exposition written? What's the first thing you do? You've got your blank piece of paper. What is the absolute first thing you need? Let's slowly go through them. First thing, right up the top, is a title, the name. What is the name? What is your topic? Second part is, looking at it, second part, our introduction. That's where you make your statement about both arguments, but more importantly, it's your point of view. It's what side you're on and what side you're going to be arguing for. Then what? After our introduction, we have our arguments. 3 arguments with reasons and examples, and that's why we want complex sentences. We've got our 3 arguments, but they also need to have reasons and examples. And finish off with a conclusion, summing up your arguments and your point of view, and restating your opinion, but you sum up your arguments as well. That's just another reminder. Should be getting very good at our exposition writing. A bit of revision on complex sentences. Here's a good example. I feel happy because it can be a good movie. That's a sentence about something about movies, but I've made it more complex. I've added a bit more. So let's see how different it is. Firstly, it makes me feel happy to watch a movie because it could be a good movie. It makes me feel calm and relaxed. This is a good thing because I can concentrate hard on the next activity. So the two same sentences, except for my mistake, they're the sentences saying the exact same thing, but there is much more information there. I've thought a lot harder as to what could go in there to make it more persuasive, to make it more detailed and descriptive. And that's a much better sentence, and that's why we need to really think about what we're going to write before we write it. Here's your opportunity. Question 5 that you need to write. I've given you a sentence here, and your job is to, like I've done here, make it more complex like this one. I've given you one of these, and you're aiming to do this to it. So here's your sentence. In our class, we have a reading corner, and I want you to make that more complex. You need to really think, how do you make that a lot more descriptive? And that's your question 5. You need to write me almost like a paragraph. A very long, descriptive couple of sentences, expanding and elaborating on this sentence here to make it better. That's question 5. Then in Hizzy, we did the Eora people. The British colonisation established on land belonging to the Eora people. Quickly, food shortages among the Eora people were reported, and the Eora people were exposed to disease which they had no immunity to. Remember, this word immunity means they couldn't deal with it. They got sick and they died very quickly. Coastal communities were decimated with smallpox epidemics, and as the colony spread out from Sydney, Aboriginal people were forced to relocate. However, smallpox went with them, and many Aboriginal people died before any contact with the British colony. So we're looking at that. When the British came in, they first set up camp at Sydney Cove on the land that belonged to the Eora people. And when they got there, quickly, they ate all the food because they don't move on. They stay in the one spot, they set up camp, and they quickly ate all the food. But the Eora people were also caught all their diseases, like smallpox, which their bodies couldn't deal with because they've never had it before. So they quickly got sick, and unfortunately a lot died. Coastal communities were decimated with smallpox epidemics, and as the Sydney Cove colonisation got bigger and bigger, the diseases spread, and some Aboriginal people died before they'd ever seen anyone from a British colony because it spread through the Aboriginal people. That's how fast it went. So here's a quick picture I found. Look, that's just maybe something like Sydney Cove, the big ships coming in. We can see they've already cut down some trees, so they've already had effect on the environment. They've set up camps and they're not going anywhere. And they've raised their flag because they've said, well, the Aboriginal people don't have any flags or fences, so we'll claim this land for ourselves. And there's another bit of a map about Sydney, Port Jackson, how they would have came in. And slowly, as their disease came in, as their smallpox, it's the only bit there, and then it spread, and then it spread out here, then it spread all through the land, and affected all the Aboriginal people, and it just spreads like a virus, gets bigger, and then comes out to here, because people walk and they move, and then spreads more until it covers a large area, all because it started here. Last opportunity to earn a dojo point, question 6. How many computers do we have in the classroom? Is it A, 2, B, 0, or C, 5? Write your answer in, and that was your 6 questions. Remember, you can watch this video as many times as you need to, and watch it over and over again. That's what I suggest. Thank you very much, and it'll be interesting to see our answers to our questions. Thank you.